Coming up, Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers visit North Sulawesi, bring love and hope to fly survivors in Manado City. We learn more about the Kuang-Hua Express, a diesel train that served Taiwan for over 40 years. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Nell. Thank you for joining us. Indonesia's North Sulawesi Tzu Chi Foundation's free clinic in Manado City has helped many locals regain their eyesight. Next, we meet cataract patient Yuning Pati. Thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance, has regained the ability to farm his fields. But first, we learn how Tzu Chi's volunteer selfless dedication following the Manado flood has inspired locals to join their ranks. Manado is the capital city of North Sulawesi in Indonesia and is known for its beautiful scenery and famous dive sites. However, the Manado flood in mid-January this year destroyed much of the city. The disaster affected many lives, but also brought the blue and white-clad volunteers to the city.
Following the Manado flood, Tzu Chi volunteers not only helped us rebuild, but also inspired residents to help each other. I have noticed that many locals have stepped up to contribute their share to help those in greater need. Tzu Chi has created a positive influence in our society.
Knowing that many locals who are mainly Catholics are in need of spiritual support following the disaster, despite the differences in faith, Tzu Chi volunteers have begun to rebuild local churches.
Thank you, Tzu Chi Foundation, for all your support in helping us rebuild our churches. Tzu Chi volunteers help regardless of race or religion. Thanks to their selfless dedication, we have a safe place to pray.
Barang siapa yang menderita itu dibantu.
Touched by Tzu Chi's philosophy, Tzu Chi's first volunteer training seminar in Manado City drew more than 137 participants.
I think it is my responsibility and I want to become a Tzu Chi volunteer. The gray volunteer uniform symbolizes the duty that I need to carry. It is a challenge for me and I want to learn how to give selflessly.
Itulah tantangan saya.
To show her support, although a devoted Christian, Angie still sees every opportunity to volunteer at Tzu Chi's events. During Tzu Chi's latest free clinic in the area, Angie even brought her friends to volunteer.
Saya berusaha.
I have learned many valuable things after joining Tzu Chi. I want to introduce Tzu Chi to more people. I have already inspired 30 friends to join the volunteers' ranks. All of them have gained tremendous joy.
Thanks to volunteers' dedication, the once disaster-stricken city has bounced back. Besides helping locals return their lives to normal, Tzu Chi has also helped many cataract patients see the world again. Among those who received Tzu Chi's aid is 70-year-old Uni Tampi. Due to his eye problems, Tampi, an active church member, couldn't visit his local church and even lost the ability to farm his fields.
Di rumah di gereja aktif.
In the past, I was an active member of my local church. After suffering from cataracts, I could only stay at home because I wasn't able to see clearly.
Orangnya sudah tidak dapat lihat.
Upon receiving the news that the Tzu Chi Foundation is organizing a free clinic at Manado City, Yuning Tampi and his family rented a car and drove 4 hours to attend the clinic. With Tzu Chi's help, Tampi underwent a cataract surgery and has regained his vision.
I have regained my vision and I can see words clearly once again. I'm very happy. Before, everything was blurry.
Kurang bayang-bayangan kalau orang kurang lihat bayang-bayang.
Tzu Chi's free ophthalmology clinic has helped many see the world once again. Behind the success at the clinic are 2 local volunteers who have dedicated themselves wholeheartedly to Tzu Chi's missions.
Tzu Chi volunteers came to Manado City to help us, so I thought, why not join their ranks? I went up to the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters and told them that I wanted to become a part of the Tzu Chi family.
We need to inspire even more people to join our ranks. I want to do more charitable deeds, cultivate more blessings, and help those in greater need.
In the years to come, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue providing love and support to locals and inspire more people to join their ranks, thus spreading the NGO's philosophy far and wide. We have more reports on this year's Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar being held at the Tzu Chi Ban Chao grounds. Later, we'll meet Ling Chun-Ling from Thailand, who has learned to accept the imperfections in life thanks to the Dharma. But first, we hear a speech on the impact of climate change given by the Deputy Director of Taiwan's Environmental Protection Administration.
At Ban Chao's Tzu Chi grounds, volunteers from 21 countries participating in this year's Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar learn of the devastating impact of climate change.
The oil from palm trees can be used to produce biodiesel. This has led to the destruction of tropical rainforests to make way for palm trees plantations. Thus, this new economy invented to battle climate change is actually creating an environmental holocaust.
Back in their respective countries, these volunteers have long been environmental activists. United in Taiwan under the pursuit of the Dharma, they say the positive energy is easily to feel.
Because of Master Zhenyan's teachings, I have learned to be careful of my thoughts, words, and actions, which helps me resolve any problems that I run into. So for me, the Dharma is simply something I just cannot live without.
Cherishing the opportunity to study and train together, the volunteers hope to do more for the environment as they walk the Bodhisattva path.
It was horrific. Blood just bled out from here. It could have easily filled a bucket.
Lin Chun-Ling from Thailand is among those training at the Ban Chao grounds. The former jewelry designer who made good money used to be fixated on her scars. It was Tzu Chi that set her free.
I saw many people devoting themselves to Tzu Chi's cause. They were doing Tzu Chi's work with their lives, yet they remained ever so humble. There were just so many of them. They have really opened up my eyes.
A vegetarian for over 2 decades, Ling is always mindful of her actions. After joining Tzu Chi in 2003, she has abandoned her perfectionist way and became more approachable thanks to the Dharma.
The way I see things now is just like what Master Zhenyan had said. If a cup is chipped, if you don't focus on the blemish, it is still a complete functional cup.
Through the seminar, Ling has further experienced Dharma joy through her deep cultivation. And upon her return to Thailand, she hopes to inspire more people to join Tzu Chi.
As the 2014 Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar kicked off on June 8th, Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers have been mobilized to provide assistance where and when needed. As hosts of this year's event, the volunteers ensure seminar participants are nourished with delicious yet healthy snacks and meals.
Pour a bag of mixed nuts into the blender and grind it until it's a fine powder. Add cold water to a pot and heat the powder while mixing thoroughly for a healthy yet delicious spread.
Yes, it's for bread. There are steam buns over there. You can spread it on that. We are vegetarians, so we need nuts and mixed grains to sustain our health and keep up our energy.
To welcome home overseas Tzu Chi volunteers for the 2014 Global Tzu Chi Team Leaders Training Seminar, Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers do their best to provide tasty and nutritious snacks, like these homemade steamed buns.
We added soy milk because we don't want our guests to suffer from gastric acid. When we were grinding it the second time, we added Tzu Chi's 5 mixed grains to enhance the flavor.
We want the brothers and sisters to feel right at home in Taiwan, so we are using many of the ingredients that our Jingzi Dharma master have come up with. That way we save time and energy, and the meals are nutritious.
Making sure volunteers are energized for their lessons ahead, Taiwan's Dharma family prepares delicious snacks so that overseas volunteers can concentrate on the master's teachings.
We people in Zimbabwe, we should share the same sentiments with the master, since she was from the poor background and she tried to help the whole world. And also it's up to the people of Zimbabwe to copy from the master how she did it and why she did that to the people within the whole world.
No matter what country the volunteers are from, together everyone is a big family. No matter where you go, Tzu Chi's Dharma family takes care of one another on the Bodhisattva path.
Next, we go to Tzu Chi Sanchong Grants in Taiwan to meet some of the volunteers working behind the scenes to prepare food and drink for their fellow counterparts to enjoy.
Kitchen volunteers make sure each dish is perfect before serving their guests. In fact, the skill and service demonstrated here could rival any five-star hotel.
Most important is to make sure the rice is cooked well. Undercooked rice may affect the taste of the dish.
In the corridor, volunteers refill drinking water containers, while kitchen volunteers are busy wiping kettles clean.
Before, we were the beneficiaries of our fellow volunteers' help and enjoyed their hard work. Now it's our turn to become contributors so that we can better understand their hard work before.
These leaves will really bring out the color of the dish. The bamboo leaves are also reusable, unless they are dried out.
Other volunteers carefully wipe the bamboo leaves that will be used to decorate the red yeast glutinous rice dish.
These kettles are already presentable. However, if we can make extra efforts to make them look perfect, we need to do it.
Thanks to these volunteers, participants of this year's training seminar find themselves right at home with their fellow volunteers in Taiwan.
After 6 years of construction, Taiwan Railways Administration has finally completed the electrification of the East Coast Main Line, as the passenger capacity will be nearly double, while travel time will be cut by about 25%. Getting to and from Taiwan's East Coast will be much easier. As people celebrate this new era, let's not forget the train that serviced Taiwan for over 4 decades, the Kuang-Hua Express. Here at Taiwan's Railway Souvenir Shop, you can find every train that has been in service. This one is quite special, for it reminds many people of their childhood. This is the Kuang-Hua Express, which once dominated the Western Main Line and was once the fastest train in Taiwan.
Now the train runs only a dozen times a day, as after the 70s the train was moved to the East Coast Main Line, where the railway had not been electrified.
Right next to me is the train that is nicknamed the White Iron. It is already 48 years old and will go into retirement at the end of June. Once inside the car, you can see everything is just the way they were, and the only air conditioning available is this, a fan on the ceiling.
Riding on the diesel train, one gets to enjoy the beauty of Taiwan's East Coast. Due to the mountainous terrain, there are many tunnels between Hualien and Taidong. The constant exchange between the chill breeze of the tunnels and the summer heat is what makes the Kuang-Hua Express so unforgettable.
Very few trains are this well kept, so even rail fans from Japan come visit and take pictures. Anyone needs to buy a ticket? Where are you going? 自学 Okay, 13 NT, please.
Due to limited passengers, the Kuang-Hua Express usually only carries one car. But back in the 70s, as an express train, seats were always sold out. However, as the Western Line completed electrification, the train only ran locally on the Eastern Line. Now only 12 locomotives of the Kuang-Hua Express remain.
The majority of our passengers are students who commute, so we run in the morning and evening.
When students come on board, suddenly the train becomes a lot livelier because of the students' laughter and presence. It is as if the train has suddenly gotten younger.
Rail fans also come often to ride the train, while some come to reminisce about the good old days.
There's a feeling of nostalgia. Actually, about a decade ago, I rode one on the South Link line. But by riding the train through here, it is as if I'm reliving my parents' childhood.
However, the Kuang-Hua Express will soon be history as the Eastern Line completes electrification. After the upgrade, there will be a train every 84 minutes between Taipei and Taitung. On weekends, the wait will be reduced to 64 minutes. The capacity has also increased by 80%.
The new Puyoma Ziqiang Express can reach 130 kilometers per hour. As the train offers a new tilt function, travel time will be greatly reduced as well.
In the future, the travel time between Taipei and Taitung will be reduced by at least an hour, as 9 of the 27 stations between Hualien and Taitung have been upgraded as well. Energy consumption will be reduced by nearly 20%. After 6 years of construction, the electrification of the East Coast Main Line is finally complete. Not only does it mark an important milestone for the TRA, but it will also greatly benefit those living along the East Coast.
In Ormoc, the Philippines, as Tzu Chi volunteers were holding their rice distribution, they met one recipient who raised pigs for a living. Initially, the woman planned to slaughter a pig to celebrate her grandson's birthday, but after taking Tzu Chi's no-killing message to heart, she decided to follow suit and cook Tzu Chi's rice instead to mark the occasion.
They wanted to slaughter this pig, but after listening to Michael's talk about no killing, they decided to give that up.
Initially, Virginia planned to slaughter a pig to celebrate her grandson's 1-year birthday. However, after taking part in Tzu Chi's rice distribution and joining in prayer for all living beings, she changed her mind.
Tzu Chi volunteers say life is precious, so we should not kill. When I was praying, I kept crying and held on to that idea of no killing.
Instead of killing a pig to mark her grandson's birthday, Virginia's family cooked Tzu Chi's rice instead. While the volunteers also brought a cake to celebrate. When Typhoon Haiyan struck, the boy was just 6 months old. Being able to survive the disaster, the family is more than grateful.
Imagine that the pig was a human being. If I killed it, I would feel sorry for it and be sad myself.
For Agama and her family, raising pigs earns much more than farming. Nevertheless, the pigsty next to where the family resides has led to sanitation problems. Seeing the family plant vegetables on their own, Tzu Chi volunteers seized the chance to teach them the benefits of eating vegetarian food.
When my son eats more vegetables, he seems to be much healthier. When he eats more meat, he gets sick easily.
Seeing how the family welcomes this new and healthy lifestyle choice, Tzu Chi volunteers feel happy for them. To show their thanks, family members also gift herbs they have grown themselves to the volunteers.
They are very kind to me. They gave me different herbs to soothe my cough. I am very touched. Thank you very much.
Since Cyclone Nargis hit Myanmar in 2008, Tzu Chi volunteers have continued to help affected communities recover. Starting in March of this year, Tzu Chi volunteers have been busy with the rebuilding of 12 schools in Tianying Township. Among the construction crews is a group of Burmese Chinese volunteers who have returned to their hometown in an effort to give back to their community.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been rebuilding 12 schools among the remote villages of Tianying Township since March of this year. the construction crew is a group of Burmese Chinese who have returned to help their fellow countrymen.
I was born in Yangon and have lived in Taiwan for 18 years. Helping to rebuild these schools has brought me back home. Thank you, Tzu Chi, for giving me this chance.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for sharing your love in all corners of the world. This has benefited many schools in Myanmar. Thank you.
To show their gratitude towards the construction crew, Tzu Chi volunteers prepared a vegetarian feast.
It's so great that the Taiwanese people are here to help Myanmar rebuild these schools. It also gives us local residents a chance to return to the countryside and give back. I'm really glad to have had this opportunity.
Our goal isn't just to rebuild these schools, but to also spread the seeds of love through the care of our Tzu Chi brothers and sisters and the construction team. Together we can plant these seeds of love deep.
With a heart to give back, the Burmese Chinese volunteers are doing their share to help their hometown and leave students with a brighter tomorrow.
In Taiwan's Tainan, we meet 6th grader of Kunshan Elementary School, Chen Chu-yun, who was born with a visual impairment. Regardless of her disability, Chen works to capitalize on her musical talent and has vows to become a teacher one day to help more people in need. Here's her story.
Hi everyone, my name is Chen Chu-yun. I will work hard to make my life one full of color and brightness.
With a pleasant voice and optimistic attitude, Chen Chu-yun regards herself as no different than others despite her visual impairment, which only pushes her to work even harder to achieve her goals.
Someone asked me how I learned to play piano. I said if I couldn't overcome that challenge, how would I face other challenges in the future?
We teach her everything she needs to learn in her daily life. If possible, we accompany her when she is learning new things. Basically, I raise her like an ordinary kid.
In her daily life, Chen Chu-yun does not ask for any special treatment. At home, she helps with cooking and other household chores. Learning through the assistance of a customized computer, Chen Chu-yun believes that efforts equal results and vows to make her dreams come true one day.
Since I was little, many teachers have helped me along the way. I want to reciprocate, so I have decided to become a teacher in the future.
Striving for her dream in a down-to-earth manner, despite living in darkness, Chen Chu-yun brushes colors into her life every step of the way.
We go to Taiwan's Kaohsiung City at the end of the show. Students of the Da荣Elementary School visited a local Tzu Chi recycling station to learn the importance of recycling. During their visits, students also tried their hands at sorting recyclables. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.